This is Jill Pack with the Seasons of Joy podcast. This is episode number 90, entitled Finding the Joy in the Now. Are you a woman of faith who is struggling to navigate your current season of life? Do you feel like life is just happening to you instead of for you? My name is Jill Pack. I'm a certified life coach and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I want you to know that no matter your season or circumstance, it is possible to create a more joyful life. And I would love to show you how. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends. I am so glad to be here. Welcome to the podcast. Can you believe that Christmas is a week away? I can't. Do you feel ready? I just am not feeling quite ready. But the thing I've been trying to get my head around is like, it's going to come whether I'm ready or not. So let's just have fun. So anyway, it's a fun week. I love Christmas, and I hope you can have a beautiful week leading up to Christmas and just enjoy your family. I wanted to remind you of a few things. And I've been talking about these the last few weeks on my podcast, but the first one is my workshop, Strengthening Your Relationship with God During the Holidays, that I have recorded. It's up for sale on my website for $10. It's a steal. And it's a great way to kind of shift your focus to the Savior as we're in this season, but it doesn't have to be just for the Christmas season. It can be any time of year. But again, it's only $10. It's a 30-minute workshop, and I think there's some really good stuff in there to get you thinking about how you can strengthen your relationship with God. So to learn more about it, just click the link in the show notes, and you can connect there, or you can just go straight to my website, www.seasons-coaching.com. And on the menu, it says workshop, so you should be able to find it there. I also wanted to remind you of two ways that you can work with me in 2024. The first way is in my one-on-one coaching program called the Season of Creation. And we work together for 12 weeks, which is a season. And we work on ways to help you become more of the creator of your life, so that you no longer live like life is just happening to you. It's just coming at you, but for you, and that you can create what you want in your life. We're going to apply concepts that I teach you to your personal situation. And I believe that you will leave our time together empowered to live a life you love without needing anyone else in your life to change. The second way that you can work with me in 2024 is in my new beta group coaching program called the Season of Connection. And I'm launching that in January of 2024. It's a 6-week program, so it's just a month and a half. And if you are curious about coaching and how it could help you, this is for you. If you're needing a more affordable coaching option instead of the one-on-one, this is for you. If you are a midlife woman of faith who's ready to create greater connection in your life, this is for you. This group setting provides a beautiful space of learning and support. Group coaching can be so powerful. As you hear other people's stories and as you see other people get coached, it helps you gain greater awareness of your own stories and of an ability to shift your perspective because you're watching someone else's experience. And so from that place, you can begin creating the kind of relationships that you want to have in your life. So what better way to start 2024 off is by getting some coaching and shifting your perspective. As midlife women, it can be challenging, right, to navigate the changes that happen in this season of life, right? We can begin to feel disconnected in our relationships with ourselves, with other people, or even with God. So if you're ready to create desired change so that you can love your life and live your life on purpose, either one of these programs are great. So you can learn more about them on the show notes of this episode, or again, visiting my website, seasons-coaching.com. So now on to this week's episode. I want to talk about the idea of finding joy in the now. And I thought this would be the perfect topic as we're heading into Christmas. We talk about joy of the season, right? We seem to put a little more emphasis on joy this time of year. Many times we associate joy with being present in our lives. You have probably heard phrases like be where you are, where your feet are, or be in the now, or be where you are and the people you are with. There's probably more phrases that you can think of, but I want to take this idea a little deeper with you today. Finding joy in the now is more than just being present. It's about soaking in the joy of the moment. That sounds great when things seem awesome, right? However, I know that this can seem difficult when where we are doesn't seem that great. We can't imagine finding joy where we are, and we want to do things that will move us through this moment as quickly as possible. And I get that. And sometimes that's exactly what we do, right? There's going to be times that we do that. However, I want to offer you some other ideas in regards to this to think about. I recently came across a quote by Matteo Tabatabai that I want you to be thinking about as we continue this discussion. It goes like this: being aware of the present moment simply means you never believe the illusion that the future is going to be better than what's going on right now. This quote illustrates what I want to focus on today. I want you to remember, think back to when you were younger and you couldn't wait for Christmas, or you couldn't wait to get your driver's license, or you couldn't wait to date or to get married or to have kids. And then you couldn't wait to get that job, or you couldn't wait to get those same kids out of diapers, walking in school. And for some, maybe even that they'll leave home, right? These are examples of looking to a future event and believing we'll feel better there, right? Then we may hit this point, many of us hit this point in our life where we start thinking about the good old days, right? It was great when you fill in the blank with whatever you want. If only it was like it was then. I'll be honest, there are times that I long for the days when my body worked better, right? When my shoulder didn't hurt, or my wrist wasn't stiff, or my knee wasn't sore. You may be thinking about when all your kids lived at home, or when they were all home for the holidays. This is comparing our current reality to the past and believing that it was better then. You get the idea, right? Either of these reinforces the idea that our happiness is created outside of us. But what if this? What if we're actually living the good old days now, and that it doesn't get better in the future than it does right now? What if this moment right now is where joy is found? Again, I can hear some of you pushing back on this. You may be thinking, what, this is as good as it gets? Well, that sucks, right? You might be thinking about that relationship that you wish was better, or a life circumstance that you wish would improve, like your job, your marriage, your weight, or the balance in your bank account, right? We're constantly being sent messages from the world that if certain things happen, or if we do certain things, then we will be happier, or that life will be better. I had a coach say it this way, though. What if your capacity for happiness right now is exactly equal to your capacity for happiness at some future point in time? In this moment of time right now, we all have the ability to be fully present and fully happy. We have the ability to control what we think and to choose joy no matter our season or circumstance. Now, many of us don't think this is possible. We believe that we have to work hard for some future happiness, right? If we get through or endure what's happening right now, then we can achieve happiness in the future with the perfect spouse, the perfect job, the perfect amount of money, the perfect kids, the perfect amount of time, right? But here's the truth. Our circumstances are never responsible for our happiness. What we are choosing to think at any given moment creates our happiness. Your ability to be happy right now is at 100%. Your ability to be happy in the future is 100%. Your ability for happiness is exactly the same, whether it's now in this moment or in a future moment. And so, if that's true, why do we wait for our circumstances to change in order to give ourselves permission to be happy in this moment? There are many years where I believed that if I was thin enough, then I would be happy and I could finally enjoy my life. So, in many ways, I wasn't even enjoying my life like I could all along the way. I was missing out. I was waiting for that magical moment when the scale read that desired number. However, that number has come and gone quite a few times in my life, and so did my happiness. But it wasn't the number on the scale that was affecting my happiness. It was the belief that happiness came with the number. I wasn't giving myself full permission to be happy no matter what the number was. I was holding back happiness for myself until that perfect day. I know miserable thin people and happy heavy people. How can that be true if happiness comes from the number on the scale? The things outside of us will never bring us happiness. You can get all the stuff you desire and still not be happy. Managing your mind properly is going to help you create happiness, not the accumulation of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you don't want to work on goals, achieving goals, or trying to progress or improve your life in some way or your plan for the future. Of course, we do. That's part of our makeup, right? Progressing, growing, creating is part of our DNA. It's part of our personal journey on earth. However, we don't have to do certain things or achieve certain things to feel better. Many people believe that lie that you will be happier in the getting of certain things. But what if you could challenge yourself to find the beauty of this moment right now, right where you are? I may have told this story before on the podcast, and I apologize. I can't remember, but I think that it illustrates this idea of finding joy in the moment perfectly. A while ago, a year plus ago, I had this experience where I was going to be getting together with a few of my adult children for dinner at one of their houses. I was feeling apprehensive because I knew that there were going to be certain style choices of my children that would be more in my view, that I would be more aware of than I am, out of sight, out of mind, right? Because it wasn't at my house, it was their house. They get to choose, right? And I was experiencing a lot of thoughts and emotions leading up to this dinner. And I was frustrated that my adult children were choosing to live differently than what I had taught in our home, right? I was sad because I wanted it to be like it used to be. And as I sat in my apprehension, my frustration, and my sadness, I had an experience that for me was spiritual. I had what I will call a spiritual glimpse. I had two scenarios play out in my mind, which created this experience. And the first scenario, I pictured myself getting to the gathering with my family, feeling that apprehension, that frustration, and that sadness. And I could see myself being distant and pouty. And I could see myself outside of the group, wishing things were different and not really participating with my family. And then my family knowing something's wrong with me, and then it's weird. And then I finally come home and I'm going to bed and I'm sad and I'm miserable. The second scenario came quickly after that first one into my mind. And I pictured myself getting to the same gathering, but I was full of feelings of love and acceptance for myself and for my children. And I could sense that I was believing that I wanted to connect with my family. I wanted to have fun with them, just being all together no matter what. Not that I love their choices, but I wasn't judging those choices. I wasn't focusing on those choices. I was focusing on loving them and enjoying them. And then finally coming home and going to bed and savoring the moments of connection that I had had with my loved ones. And after these two scenarios played out in my mind, I had three choices, I believed. The first choice was I could stay home and sit in the negative emotion, miss out being with my family, but staying in this negative emotion that I was creating for myself and then create more negative emotion for myself by not going. Second, I could choose to go to dinner with my family and be miserable before, during, and after my time with my family. My third choice was that I could find joy in that moment. There are no guarantees for tomorrow, and that the current moment we are in is the best we will ever have. Like believing that, I chose the third option because I wanted to create more love and acceptance and joy in my life. And it was my responsibility. It is my responsibility to do so. And it's only done in the present moment. By embracing love, acceptance, and joy before I went, I was able to choose it at the dinner table. I was able to choose it when I got home. My ability to be happy and find joy before my family dinner was exactly the same as during and after my family dinner. Your ability for happiness is exactly the same, whether it's now or in the future. We can give ourselves permission right now, in this very moment, to be happy without needing other people or our circumstances to change. Now, you may be thinking of your adult children and you just want them to have a great time at Christmas, right? And if they did, then you can be happy. You may be thinking about your spouse, and if he likes your gift, then you can be happy. You may be thinking that if your sister wasn't mad at you, then you could be happy. You may be thinking that if you could just lose that extra weight before Christmas, then you could be happy. You might even be thinking that if you had more money for Christmas, then you could be happy. You may be thinking that if things were like they used to be, then you could be happy. When you are tempted to look at the past and believe if things were how they used to be, then you could be happy, or to the future and think, I can't wait until. I want to invite you to step back and ask yourself these questions. The first one is why? Why do you want to go back? Or why can't you wait? What is the why? What is the why of wanting to go back or hurry to the future? Why? And then what do you expect that you will feel then? If you were to be able to go back or forward, what would you think you would be feeling? And why would you feel that way? And then I want you to remember this. You have the ability to feel that way right now. And it's a choice. You can choose to feel happy now. That is the best news ever. You don't have to wait for the things outside of you to take away from your ability to feel happy in the now. And remember, tomorrow is no guarantee. The present moment is the only thing that is sure. So why not find the joy in the now? That's my invitation to you as you move into the Christmas holiday. Christmas is a week away. How can you create that happiness and joy in the moments that you are in? Yes, plan for the future and work towards things, but that moment isn't going to be any better than the moment that you are currently in. How can you enjoy this moment right here, right now? That's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here, and I want to wish you the merriest of Christmases. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you hear, I would love it if you would share it with your friends and family and leave me a rating and review. If you'd like to learn more about what life coaching is, please schedule a free discovery call with me where we can work together through something that's causing you a problem. Just go to my website, seasons-coaching.com, and you can also find information about my Seasons of Joy one-on-one coaching program and my Seasons of Joy community. Have a joyful week, and I'll see you next time.